Kia ora and talofa geniuses, Jazz Lilo Smith here, and welcome back to the Abj Sports Opinions show. It's been a stacked weekend across the codes. We had Magic Round, which lit up the NRL. We had some Super Rugby, which brought in a bit of the heat, some NBA playoffs, which kept twisting, and then the UFC cage was pretty busy. But as always, we're going to keep it raw, proud, and straight from the heart. No fluff, no fake hype. We're not going to be in the car tonight, and we're not going to get chased by what we thought were the cops or get towed. But we will have Lucas and Elkan on deck, and we're going to be diving into the biggest moments from the weekend. So in the next 10 seconds, I'll present to you Elkan and Lucas and Elkan.
Welcome. Thanks for coming again. How are we today?
Oh, we're doing amazingly well. How are you?
He's obviously on the upper. I'm not too bad, thanks. Pretty hectic weekend of sports. Thanks to the wife Jazz for bringing us in that way. It never gets old.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about it?
Oh, I feel happy. I feel so happy. The Panthers are finally off the wooden spoon. The Wars have taken second place. We're on the way to finals, baby. Wah! Up the Wars!
Do you have a question for us?
Yeah, so did the Warriors prove their real finals material, or are we still seeing cracks in their game under pressure?
So the answer for me is both. They are definitely finals contenders. I was never really doubting that they were going to be in the finals. I think they have the team to go very deep this year.
Mm-hmm.
However, they showed the one thing that we see from them time and time again is that they release off the gas, let teams back into the contest and make it much harder than it needs to be when closing out games. So where do we go from here?
Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, everything you've said is right. We take a good lead in the first half. In the second half, I don't know. We want to give them all these points, make this game interesting, I guess.
Let teams back into the game instead of squeezing the life out of them.
Yeah.
Like Melbourne style, even though Melbourne ended up losing.
Yeah.
But that style of relentless pressure, more pressure, just building pressure until other teams crack, like the thing that the All Blacks used to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't through just battering ram through the front door. It was building pressure and then applying more pressure.
And then slowly winding
just cranking it up.
Yeah, cranking it up 100%.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that bodes. Against the bigger teams who don't crack under pressure, that's where the Warriors are going to struggle. They have, they always tend to struggle, but
there's always potential. 100%.
Having said that, they're building a lot of confidence from getting the 2 points ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a lot of years gone by, we've lost those close games, by 6 points or less.
Yeah.
And if you lose a few of them, you're suddenly a lot more back in the pack than they are this year.
Yeah.
But for some reason or another, they've just sort of squeaked out those wins.
Yeah.
And here we are,
and
top three.
We're doing well.
Doing very well.
And we're keeping it well as well. What round are we in now? Round 10. Yeah. There's still plenty of rounds to go, but we're holding the position very well. Although our point differential is 0 at the moment.
Points differentials are very, come the end of the season, they're quite big.
Yeah, 100%.
So
100%.
Let's just make sure that we start scoring some tries and not letting in as many as we score.
And not letting the team come back and scare us shit scared, make us shit scared again.
What about who else in the NRL did you have, or what were your trades for the fantasy week?
My trades this week were Tua Picky.
Right, it's 90 whatever.
Yeah, it's 96 with a double. I traded in Licky Hellis and Corey Horsburgh. What's annoying as hell though is that I've traded Toya for Corey Horsburgh. Now in the back of my mind, at the start of the week, if you think about it, and then After making those trades, I still have 160,000 salary remaining, which is enough for me to make some good trades this week. And we've got a lot of injuries. But what about you, Dave? What are your trades for this week, or that you made last week?
I think it was Alex Seyfarth, who was it was a gamble because he was coming off a 60. He had a break even in the like high 30s.
Yeah.
And then two real average, Kai O'Donnell, I think, and one other somewhere, Bronson Garlic.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Three sort of middle of the road players, and I traded them all to get Aaron Clark, the young halfback from the Dragons, who just made his debut. He made his debut and scored like 47.
Oh my goodness.
And another, the prop from the Eels.
Oh,
Tuiviti.
Yeah, Tuiviti, yeah.
So
that's right.
two cheapies and Aaron Clark, which I was quite happy with that trade. And then Aaron Clark came out pretty good. He's still making money. That's going to level off very, very soon. Those other two will make money.
Yep. And he's dual position.
And now we have Mamazoulos, who's injured.
Yeah, in the last minute he had dislocated his elbow, unfortunately. But if you think about it, his time has come anyways. I think he's made it to the best amount of money that he can make. I think he's 580 at the moment, but he did pull a 25 points last week. So I think it's time to get rid of him, eh? What do you think?
Oh, I'm definitely getting rid of him. I kind of have to shift on Connor Watson as well.
Oh, true.
It doesn't really matter if Watson was going to play Origin or not. It's probably time to move him.
Yep.
So those guys are probably going to make room for Jacob Carraz.
Peter straight to
You
Carraz.
can do a straight swap.
I can do a straight swap, and I'll still have 60k left in the bank.
That's a move.
I've got Katonga and Jackson Purdue. I think Purdue is getting to the end of his cash cow season, but
I completely missed the boat on him.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know who to go for. Who do you think for centers? Obviously, I've got Carraz, but I need to get rid of Katonga. Garrick.
I would say Bo Fermor, Ruben Garrick, and Carraz are the top three centers available.
There we go.
That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. Well, looking at the stats, they've kind of proved that to be the top three centers. So.
Fermor's not really a center. That's the awesome thing about him.
That's the good thing about
Dylan Lucas is up there too because he's not a center either. He's a second rower.
But he is in dual position like Bo. Which makes sense.
He's a bit of a loophole.
Yeah.
Same as Bo Fermor.
Yeah.
All right. What else have we got on the table for today? Any other sports?
UFC Bo Nickel really the next thing?
Oh
in the
my
weight?
gosh.
Or is the UFC pushing them too fast without real tests yet?
So, do you know who Bo Nickel is?
No.
He's a wrestling prospect. He came out of high school, collegiate, Olympic style wrestling, winning world titles like that.
Oh, yep.
Came straight into MMA, and heaps was expected of him because he's such a good wrestler. He went into jiu-jitsu schools and he would pound on jiu-jitsu guys, not because he's a dick, but just a really exceptionally good wrestler.
Yeah.
So he's gone through a few fights in the UFC, and today, or this morning, I think it was, he ran into just a veteran who beat him up and then ended up stopping him with a beautifully timed knee. So just when one of these phenom type people comes into the UFC, they go through the levels and they get tested at every level. And then sometimes they crumble at one of those levels. And it's not a blight on them. It's just that they're not prepared for the wholeness of the game. This guy is an exceptional wrestler. I watched a grappling match between him and Gordon Ryan. I don't know if you know who Gordon Ryan is.
I think I've heard of his name
before. He's a jiu-jitsu guy, but the best jiu-jitsu guy.
The best, eh?
So he has a jiu-jitsu match with him, but there's a few caveats where Gordon Ryan can't attack with leg locks because he would murder him otherwise.
Yeah.
But Bo Nickel does really, really well. Like his positional movement and his hip sprawl is incredible. Wow. Like he's a good fighter.
How old is this guy?
He's young. He's in his mid-20s.
Oh, nice.
He's
Still got
only
plenty
just starting
years.
out in his career. He's got plenty of time,
Yeah.
but he just got stopped by someone hungrier and, just
More
someone more
experience.
prepared and more experienced than he.
Yeah.
And I was gutted for him, but hopefully it's humbling for him at the same time because it could prove to be his biggest weapon in the future.
It was a good lesson for him, because when you go on the big stage, it's a completely different ball game, and there's so much pressure. No matter what sport it is, there's so much pressure, there's so much expectation.
Yeah.
And even though it was his debut and he lost.
It wasn't his debut, but he had run through everyone he had gone against before.
Yeah.
And lots is expected of him. He's the next, this, that, and the other thing.
Next prodigy.
Yeah, the next guy,
The
next guy who can carry the UFC. So that's him in the black. At all in this fight. This is what I thought. Well, he didn't really get the chance to use it. This guy just does this, gets in on him, boxes him. He's not hurting him here. He's just boxing him up against the cage and throwing off his timing, hitting him to the body, hitting him to the head, time to breathe, and then he hits him with that knee straight to the solar plexus and floors him.
Yeah, just like that, eh? Oh my goodness. He was taking those punches though, even though they weren't hard.
Well, that's it. It's more like a volume of punches. It's not any one knockout blow.
Yeah, it's
See,
just a pyro,
Bo Nickal's trying to throw knockout punches, and he's just not quite hitting him until he receives the knee, and that's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. Game.
Went down like a sack of potatoes.
This is why I went through fighting.
Look how happy they are. It's so good.
Yeah.
The coaching staff, the people who they're in there with them.
Real supportive.
It's not even supportive. It's like it's a team thing.
Yeah.
And the coach is in there.
Yeah.
Kind of. Even though they're not really in there.
He's like the mind, and he is the physicality.
It works the same in like the driving sports, the
The
driver will say, "We as a team won it," meaning that all the people who changed the tires are part of the team, so they're in the cockpit with them.
Yeah.
Like it's not just me there. They don't say, "I won the race."
Yeah.
It's, team effort and all of that.
Yeah.
All of that other garbage.
We love that, don't we?
All right, what else we got on the menu there?
After the Hurricanes held off the Chiefs, are they now the favourites heading into the finals, or did the Chiefs show how to break them down?
Oh no, we are the favourites in the finals, of course.
Oh my God.
Chiefs who? Nah. What's your opinion, Dad?
So my thoughts on the game were that game was super close for about 60 minutes of the game, and it was in torrential rain conditions. So those sorts of things play into a few factors.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to say that the Hurricanes are a really good team. They muscled out a really good victory. Balin Sullivan scored 4 tries.
Oh my goodness!
Off the bench, I believe. So it was a tough game, back and forward. I think it was 16-15 right up until the 60th odd minute. And then the Hurricanes end up winning it 30 something to 16.
We ran away with it, eh?
Yeah, so the score doesn't really reflect the game that it was, and it was in pretty terrible conditions.
Yeah.
Personally, I probably think that the Crusaders are hitting their straps at that time. I did not see their game, but I think the Chiefs are looking a little tired. The Blues are looking a little tired. The Hurricanes are coming forward, so they could challenge the Crusaders and the Brumbies.
Yeah. Yeah, I see the Brumbies doing well as well.
Yeah, well, they've got a really good system there.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, here we go. In my opinion, I still think Hurricanes are making finals, but that's just because I'm a loving and supporting Hurricanes fan. The man from P-Town, that's me. Have to support it.
There he is.
But yeah.
So it's hard to see anything but the narrative of Moana Pasifika. Everyone wants Moana Pasifika to make the finals. I hope they do.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a text message from someone who said, you got to turn on the Moana Pasifika Highlanders game I didn't actually turn it on because other things were happening. However, I'm told that especially the last 20 minutes were very, very good rugby, very good viewing. Ari put the team on his back and showed once again why he's the greatest rugby player in the world.
Yep.
So that's all there is to say about that. Ari, keep doing what you're doing. You're amazing.
Artie. You are the best. You are the best human being. And you're a good player as well. But that's because you're a good person. But yeah, I love you, Artie. You're carrying the team on your back, as well as staying humble as well. Like, you want your team to succeed, as well as improve the other players around you, which is what I love about you. So if you're hearing this, buddy, I love you.
A leader of men.
A leader of men, 100%.
Appreciation right here.
100%.
What else do we have?
Oh,
I can't see that.
Mount
It's
Drew on
very,
Reds,
very
eh?
far away.
What a close game. 36-33.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So the Blues got up over the Force on Friday night.
Mm-hmm. As usual.
Then a high-scoring game between the Drua and the Reds, which looks like it was in Fiji.
Yep.
Hallmarks.
Wow.
Oh, and then the game in the rain with the Hurricanes and the Chiefs.
Yep.
With the Hurricanes getting the chocolates 35-17.
What else we got? 40-17.
The Brumbies pumped the Waratahs 40-17.
Kind of as expected. There we go.
And then Moana Pasifika beats the Highlanders
There we
34-29 in another high-scoring affair in Dunedin.
Oh, and Dunedin.
Yeah.
True. Wow. Mount Drew, eh? Now they're coming off.
Mount Drua.
Yeah, Mount Drew it.
Have you got the ladder there, babe? So the top 6 make finals in Super Rugby this year, which is weird because
How many teams are there?
8 would be better. Not sure, like 13 or something.
13.
It's a bit of a weird number, 12 or 13.
Yeah.
But the top 6 make finals, and Moana's on the outskirts of that top 6.
The Blues are 7th, eh? True.
The Blues are kind of going backwards. They're in quicksand a little.
Yeah.
Even though they just, washed away the Force.
Yep.
There's still heaps to be done.
Wow, look at that.
What's going on? So Moana is in 6th. I'm not sure how many more rounds there are. This is the thing.
Yeah.
That could have been the last round, and Moana comes 6th.
Yeah, and there you can see the Crusaders have won 4 of the past 5 games. Yeah.
So they're just kind of hitting their straps at the right time.
It looks like, grand final worthy.
The Brumbies are always that team that just kind of comes along and spoils the party.
Sneaks their way up there, eh?
They look like they're drinking on a Friday night. They are really just working, grinding like farmers. True story.
True story. Oh, yeah? All right. What else we got?
Do we have any more sports?
NBA. Stephen Adams out. How much is his absence affecting the Grizzlies' defense and the team culture? And do they need a new plan for a point?
Oh, Stephen Adams out. I'm not sure what that means. He's been playing. He's not injured. But they got knocked out, if that's what that means.
Not true. Okay.
So their game with... So he plays with the Houston Rockets. Their series with the Golden State Warriors went 7 games. And then, if what I read is correct, Steph did Steph Curry things.
Mm-hmm.
And in game 7, he clutched up, and the Golden State Warriors from 7th place knock out this number 2 seed Houston Rockets in the first round of the NBA
crazy.
playoffs.
But hey, what do you expect from the one and only 3-point king, huh? He's the clutch hero, as always.
He is pretty clutch, isn't he?
He does
Curry
good for himself.
Not only
like his
gets
own
out of his
15-year-old
hands, now
son.
you can play off a miss, get
But
yourself
with a
down
beard,
the floor.
a beard and a goatee, and like he looks like a man. But
Sengun 4 for
a young
9
man.
to start.
Did you hear that?
Score with 8 points already.
Even
Nice
Adams
feed
was
inside, and
representing
Adams with the flush.
Why would
He
he
was
do
such
that?
an elite scorer.
I have no
and they
idea.
had to tell Kyrie, when you got that double,
I've
you've
seen it
done your
both, yeah.
job. And his
Surveying the
Manual
situation.
tactic, but I did
Somebody's
see
got
an
to put it
Instagram
up.
post
Shot
saying
clock
that.
down to
Don't
3.
be coming,
On the drive,
don't
goes
be
right
coming
down
to
Adams.
lives with that
And
kind
Adams
of
knocks it back.
that
Tries
kind
to
of
throw it up.
business.
24-second
reason why I'm saying
violation.
is
Mates, don't come at me, because I'm going to go straight up vertical, and you're going to have no...
We don't see those anymore. Van Fleet inside. Nice pass. Well defended.
Are there any teams that
Moody.
you're following in the
Well, and
NBA
Adams
still?
comes up and follows it in.
Fella missed a ton of
Pretty
time
much
with
just the
injuries,
Warriors
back
thing,
on the
isn't it?
floor, having a
Putting it on. Putting on Australia.
Stephen Adams has been doing the business.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing big minutes for the season.
Yeah.
And because he was injured. And then he came back from injury and just kind of slipped straight into their rotation.
Yeah.
But he's massive.
He
And
is,
he's
eh?
so strong.
He is,
Like,
eh?
he must be so hard to deal with in the paint.
He reminds me of Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. He's so tall, but he's so strong, even though he looks like a bit skinny.
Stephen Adams is way stronger than him.
But yeah, he is. He is. That'll just be the Māori in him, eh?
Samoan.
Oh, is he Samoan?
Is Valerie Adams' brother the shot putter?
Oh, true.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Samoan. Sorry
Samoan.
about that. Either way, yeah, Samoans are really strong people. And they've got really good work ethic.
Thanks for that. So, Stephen Adams, and they're knocked out now, which is a pretty big thing. They had a huge season coming in, the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
Jalen Green just couldn't get it going when it mattered most.
Yeah. He did well during the normal matches. I seen that he was putting his team on his back. But is Scoot Henderson still there?
He plays for the Portland Trailblazers.
Oh, yeah, Trailblazers. Never mind then. But yeah, Jalen Green.
What else we got? Anything else to come up, babe?
Yeah, just to round it off. What's your best sports highlight just from what we've been speaking about tonight?
The Panthers beating the Broncos at Magic Round at Suncorp, and they put a hiding on them. So I had watched the game, and at the start I seen the Broncos had scored the first try, and then they got the penalty. But then seeing the Panthers wake up and be coordinated, and Nathan Cleary just ended up running the whole field, ended up being the exact same as the grand final last year. He actually scored a try that looked pretty identical to the match-winning grand final try from last year. But yeah, no, that game was amazing. It's good to see that the team is coming back after the wooden spoon. But but yeah, I think that the team looks good. And this new kid, Patea, oh, he had an amazing 29 minutes. Oh, he was such a beast. He's a young gun. He plays mid, and he ended up just slamming everybody. He's a good player, and he's got a lot of potential. And that's what the good thing about Panthers is that we have a lot of young guns that we can train up to become veterans. Like Nathan Cleary, like he's only 25 and he's playing like a veteran. He plays like Adam Reynolds, or better than Adam Reynolds. But yeah, just talking about that, it's just it was amazing to see my team finally come back after having our unfortunate losses the past few weeks. But yeah, I'd say that was my favorite moment, seeing
Nice.
Penrith beat Broncos at their hometown. But what about you, Dad?
So I always like seeing the Broncos get beaten.
Oh,
And I don't mind seeing the Panthers down the bottom, but I wouldn't call it a wooden spoon. It's just like a few bad weeks and a bit of injury trouble here and there, though. You know, we're of the opinion that they're going to be fine and their class will shine through and they'll end up playing finals anyway.
Yeah.
So the Warriors are still the shining light for me. I'm watching them come through and win these games ugly, and they give me a heart attack every other fucking play. But
in saying that,
yeah, you'd never jump off the wagon. It's building towards something nice. And it's nice to see that on a big stage. And Magic Round is a huge stage where it's a sellout every single day of the 3 days. And when they come, they want to see the product in its best form.
Yeah.
So if we can go out there and be in the games where, you know, the product is looking at its best, then we'll get more games that are in Las Vegas, and we'll get more, you know, all the notoriety that comes from those things.
Yeah.
I want to see us in Vegas all the time because we have the best fan base, the traveling fan base.
Yeah.
I want to see those things help us in the long run so that we get those better games
And we finally get recognition, right?
and start winning them as well.
Yeah.
But for me, that's the Warriors continuing on this golden patch
Yeah.
and not getting run down by a hard charging Cowboys team.
Yeah.
That was probably the highlight of the weekend for me. What about yourself, Jazz?
Hey guys, this is me sitting here right here. We're gonna kind of send it out, but this has kind of been exciting just to get back into sports. I love the Warriors. I love the Hurricanes. That's kind of all I really talk about. That's kind of why they talk about it too. But to be able to be in Brisbane and then watch it from the comfy of my own home, and then have these guys like yell like shit fuckers like they do at the back. It's pretty entertaining. So I'm proud to be Māori, proud to be from Aotearoa, get to live here in Brisbane, Queensland, and like do this funky cool stuff with you guys, and my husband and my son with sports. So I grew up around a lot of music in Wellington, but see some new and improved people come in on the black and yellow. I actually don't know who many of them are, so it was nice to watch the highlights there and then to see some home games. So it's made me more excited about probably wanting to go home, see some All Black games back home. So yeah, we'll see what that looks like. So yeah, thank you, and we'll let you guys round it out.
We'll just leave it right there. Thanks very much for joining us,
Thanks for watching.
and we'll see you again
Up
next
the
time.
bars! Up the bars!